Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Saturday night Greentext thread. Gonna type up some OC I've been meaning to share for a while. Feel free to share your own or just anything good you've saved from previous threads. Be about 20, circa 2014. Get the opportunity to travel solo around Europe for a couple months. Long history of clinical depression. Not super relevant to the rest of this story, other than that it's important to understand I wasn't in the best mental or emotional state at this particular point in life. End up in Gibraltar for a few nights, pick related, not following any real plan, trying to enjoy the experience but struggling mentally, and the weather was absolute shit. End up at a pub towards the end of my first day to eat and drink because I have no idea what to do. Just people watching and trying to be buzzed. Eventually notice this guy. Looks in his mid-50s, kinda tall and lanky, wearing dull, drab-looking clothes, salt and pepper short hair and 5 o'clock shadow. Pretty nondescript physically, but something is just not right with this guy. He just doesn't seem to mesh with the environment, like I'm seeing someone out of place or time. Speaks to no one as far as I can observe, only shuffling to the bar from his small table every now and then to gesture for a drink, or go outside to ostensibly smoke a cigarette. But by far the most fucked up thing is the sound he makes. The best I can describe it as is labored guttural breathing, but it's so much worse. It almost sounds like someone pretending to purr like a cat, but with a throat full of phlegm and honey. The noise pattern is always the same. There is no variation or change in cadence. It's so loud I can hear it clearly from the other side of the somewhat noisy pub. Initially I found it obnoxious, but soon I felt fear. I don't know why, I just felt like a primal aversion to this guy and didn't want to be anywhere around him anymore. Returned to my hotel after finishing my food. The hotel is old-fashioned, which is just my speed. Not creepy, just outdated but charming. The only notable thing I don't like is that most rooms don't have their own bathroom. Instead, there are external shared public bathrooms that serve 2 or 3 rooms. The hotel is also apparently almost empty, shitty time of year and all, and no overnight staff or lobby. Spend the night watching TV in my room, talking to my then girlfriend, now wife, on the phone, and crying because depressed. Starting to feel tired finally and prepare for bed. Lying down, staring at the ceiling with the TV on in the background. I hear that disgusting rattling breathing. Primal fear and panic. Mute the TV and focus. I want to believe I'm hearing shit, but it's clear and consistent, coming from the hallway outside. The source of the sound moves slightly, like it's getting alternately closer and farther away. Additional sounds, almost like heavy footsteps pacing up and down the corridor and doors opening and closing. The breathing never stops. Sometimes I swear it sounds like it's right outside of my door. Just rhythmic, pained breathing like he was just standing there. Try to reason with myself. He must also be staying at this hotel in the room next to mine, and is going or coming to the bathroom. But what are the odds that this one weird dude at a random pub I randomly noticed is my next door neighbor? Panic, but have no idea what to do. I know nobody here, and I'm alone. Seriously, what am I supposed to do? Call the cops? The front desk? Maybe the manager? Tell them what? There's a guy with a respiratory problem and I'm scared of him. Noises eventually stop in the early hours of the morning, and I finally pass out for a few hours. When I wake up, it's light out and I don't hear any noise after listening intently for like half an hour. Get the fuck out of there. Gonna stop green texting because the rest of the trip is uneventful. Maybe this is all anticlimactic, but I wish I could properly describe that sound he would make.
I've been waiting until I saw a Greentext thread to share my story. Be me, some many years ago. Learn about a superstition regarding furniture, specifically chairs. If you leave chairs out, desk chairs, dining chairs, any chair that is normally stored away when not in use, you will invite ghosts to use them while you sleep. Not superstitious, but often repeat it to others as reasoning for being pedantic about putting things away. Be me, about 2 weeks ago. In bed, about to sleep, I noticed I left my computer chair slightly out from the desk and slightly sideways. Too cozy. I'm not getting out of bed just to go along with a superstition I don't believe in. Sleep. Wake up, eyes are closed, feel a presence. Open my eyes. An impossibly skinny figure is sitting on my chair, facing mostly away from me. Incredibly long black hair, overly long arms, overly long nails. Overly long everything, really. Possibly feminine if I had to give it a gender. Give my eyes time to adjust, blink and shake my head, just in case it's a waking hallucination, as I get those sometimes. Still here. I've always said if a ghost messed with me, I'd try to fight it. Swing myself out of bed, ready to launch myself at it. Wake up, again. Feeling presence, again. The figure is still there, facing away from me. Sit up. Try to ask it what it wants. Wake up a third time, to the feeling of a spindly hand gently pressing me down for a moment. Keep eyes closed. A vision briefly appears in my mind of the figure, still sitting in the chair, turning the smallest amount possible so it can watch me from the corner of its eye. Get the feeling that this is what it wants, specifically to watch me sleep. Keep my eyes closed and fall asleep eventually sometime later. Wake up in the morning, fine except for the loss of sleep and renewed conviction towards storing chairs away correctly.
2018. I'm going through some of the depression of a breakup. Friends and I opt to hang out, go on a bit of a tear across town, get some good food and drinks. As we're finishing our dinner, we decide to make a short run out of town, get some drinks and just chill in the desert. Hell yeah, .jpg. Make the necessary stops to the liquor store, go on a 30-minute drive out of the city, go to a spot the driver and I had checked out one time before. Around a month prior, pull off the side of the dirt road and enjoy the ambience of pitch-black desert at night. Everyone except the driver was drinking beer and just laughing and talking. I'm feeling good for the first time in a few weeks, glad to have gone with friends. The fun atmosphere is broken by a pack of dogs absolutely losing their minds at a property further down the road, around half a mile maybe. Everyone stops and listens for a moment before shrugging and going on with whatever conversations we were having. 10 minutes pass, and we are interrupted again by shooting. Sounds like something automatic, not terribly unusual for the area, but the pace of fire sounds wrong. We listen to these chaotic runs of gunfire for a while. I pipe up and mention that it sounds almost like they're panicking. Friends say it's far enough away, there's no need to really worry about it. Time passes. I'm about 4 beers in and starting to feel a little sloppy. The desert gets eerily quiet, and so does everyone else. Someone decides to bring up spooks. I don't remember who. Conversation about spooks. Conversation about spooks evolves into theories of what could have been causing the dogs to freak out. Driver brings up the weird gunshots, mentions that could be related. Other friends talk. I'm drunk, and feeling good, arrogantly pipe up. Whatever it is, fuck it, it ain't got shit on us. Or something like that. Throw a couple of beer bottles deep into the darkness. Within maybe 5 or 10 minutes, one of my friends notices a little glint of light in the desert and mentions it. We all look. Looks kinda like when light reflects off of an animal's eye, though this just looks like a white circle in the darkness. Whenever someone tries to shine a light or move close, the reflection disappears. What? The eye, as we started to call it, was moving around us very quickly, like beyond reason, and not making any noise. At some point, myself and one other friend go into the car to grab pistols. Don't go into the wilderness without them. Holding a .45 and watching how the eye is moving, can't figure it out, feeling a strange dread. Take out my phone and turn on the flashlight. Hold it up while pointing the pistol into the darkness as I walk towards where I see the eye. The eye disappears when I get close, but I keep moving towards where I saw it. Suddenly, I hear something heavy moving very quickly towards me, almost like a goddamn horse charging me. Panic and start to back away, glancing around, trying to locate the source of the noise. End up tripping and falling into a chala cactus ass first. Before I have any time to comprehend what's going on, I feel something grip my shoulder tightly, feels almost like long, bony fingers, yell, and start swinging my pistol wildly behind me before crawling away on my hands and heels, friends calling out to guide me since I'm not really looking around so much. I stand up and run back to the car. Hand one of my friends the .45 while I start pulling thorns out of my ass and legs. As I'm tending to myself, we suddenly hear a lot of heavy footsteps around us, almost like we're being surrounded by people on horseback. Everyone is panicked. The sober driver's head is flicking back and forth trying to figure out what's going on. The driver screams for everyone to get in the car. Everyone's in, and I'm still picking thorns out of my legs. I rush around to my seat, and as I go to sit down, the driver cocks the wheel and hits the gas. Damn near throws me under the car. He pauses, and I get seated properly, trying not to put any pressure on the remaining cactus thorns. We tear out of there as fast as possible. The driver doesn't do any less than 95 miles per hour as we rush back into town. He drops myself and one of my friends off at my house. We're all super uneasy. Everyone agrees to keep in touch in the group chat. Me and my friend go inside to drink more and smoke a cigarette. A bit of time passes, me and my friend playing Vidya. Hearing a dull, rhythmic thud outside, I can't figure out what it is. As we're talking about peeking our heads outside, the driver texts the group chat. "Do you hear that drum outside?" Friend and I see this and continue to peek outside to listen. Sounds a lot like a drum, but it's not super loud. We nope back into the house. Nope harder when we realize that the driver lives 1.5 miles away. We shouldn't be hearing the same thing. We hide out and just play Vidya. Don't go outside for a smoke break alone. Hear things while out smoking. Eventually get tired and manage to fall asleep, but not before posting a thread on /x/. Get called a LARPer and a fag before going to bed. Everyone turned out fine. The driver went back to the area a few days later to collect the thrown beer bottles. We all felt pretty scared for a while. After that, though, it took me a few years before I felt okay going into the desert after dark again.
Guess I should post my own story. Happened in 2020. Finally taking my fiancé to meet my family in rural America. All goes well. My family loves her and loves being around her. Show her all the cool places around the property. Stay out a little too late after overshooting my way back home. We both pop out near the gravel road and I suddenly feel incensed to talk about skinwalkers. Not a super spiritual person myself, but my fiancé can be. Slip up and audibly refer to Wendigos as we start walking back home. It was our last night, so we had supper, watched some HXH, and went on a late-night 2 a.m. walk. At the edge of the property near the old barn, there's a dilapidated bridge. Barely functional, but works well enough. As soon as we cross the bridge, it starts to rain. Very light rain, but cold for October. Press on anyway, but both of us start to notice whispering, catch glimpses of things in our peripheral. No big deal, it's just the woods at night. The rain picks up, we decide to turn back and get some heavier clothing. As we cross the bridge on the way back, my fiancé and I both feel a presence. It spooks us both, enough so that I slow our walking pace and turn to look behind us. Walking backwards, we clear the bridge. At this point, my fiancé turns around and sees what I'm not sure I'm really seeing. A white-skinned figure with skin stretched over the bone, standing taller than a bear. We both verbally confirm what we saw, and as we do, the tall grass near the bridge starts to part, as if something is heading towards us from it. The pale creature from the bridge is nowhere to be seen. Panic starts to kick in. I do my best and steel myself and keep moving backwards whilst keeping my eyes on the road behind us. My fiancé panics and grabs me, trying to pull me along as she runs. Causes me to stumble, temporarily scaring me witless. I grab her and force her to walk back home with me, slowly. We went to sleep that night after covering all the windows. Get ready to fly back home the next morning, hardly had any sleep. Talked to my grandmother and aunt about what happened. They don't have much to say about it, just old stories from when they were kids. But they do tell me that when they woke up, all the dogs were sleeping on the porch and wouldn't leave until after the sun had fully risen. Odd, since the dogs usually like chasing deer all night. After that, I just talked around and shared the story. Several native people in my area gave me a lot of shit for saying Wendigo and told me I got what I deserved. I'll eventually inherit that land, and before that, I'll visit again. I guess we'll have to see how that goes.
Aussie here. Last month we had a few days of intense storms and flooding, especially in areas where it doesn't normally flood. Anyway, one Saturday night I'm sitting in the living room playing PlayStation, and in the living room is a sliding door that leads out to the backyard. Our house is on a hill that runs horizontally, so the right side of the backyard is higher than the left. When it rains heavily, there is a stream of water that runs all the way down the back fence, and it mainly comes from a hole in the neighbor's fence, high side, which they have put wire fencing over to stop their dog from getting into our yard. Anyway, this storm is pretty mental, but over all the thunder etc. I hear the dog next door going absolutely batshit crazy. So I get up and open the blinds and have a look outside. Now it's really dark, so I can't see much until one of those extended lightning strikes. Think a solid 5 seconds of white light. And I see the wire section of the fence lying on my lawn, and flailing through the stream is this thing. Human size, human shape, but its skin is a dark gray and mostly hairless. The only hairs on its body are large and black, and they stick straight up and didn't have any sort of pattern. They just seemed to be growing randomly. They looked a lot like a cat's whiskers and were mainly confined to the creature's back. Then the lightning strikes subsided, and I never saw it again. Scared the absolute shit out of me. Googled its description, but haven't turned up any results. Not even in other parts of the world, let alone Strya.
Pretty much my only paranormal experience. Grandfather is wasting away on his deathbed. Uncle owns a private clinic, so at least the old man's getting the best care available. Skip to a few months in. Doctors say grandfather is on his last days. The entire family visits from all over the country. Grandmother sits beside him and begs him not to leave her. "Don't worry, doll. I'll come for you in 30 days. He smiles and draws his last breath. About a month goes by. I completely forget what grandfather said. Grandmother calls to ask me to go stay with her for the weekend. Why not .png? I could use some fresh air. Long drive across the state is uneventful and the countryside is beautiful. Arrive on Friday night. The farmhouse and the grounds are in tip-top shape. God bless the locals for helping grandmother keep on top of things. Still, I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched as I walk to the front porch. Grandmother is happy to see me. She makes me hot chocolate, and we chat for a while before going to bed. Saturday flies by. Old photo albums, war stories, tending to roses and digging up childhood toys of mine from the attic. Despite her kind smiles and a mild boost in energy, grandmother seems uncomfortable somehow. I keep catching myself looking behind my back at odd moments because of that tingling you get in your spine when someone is staring at you. Obviously, no one's ever there. Saturday night, we watch some old Thanksgiving dinner tapes and laugh about stuff over mellow wine. Time for bed. I suddenly wake up in the middle of the night. I get that thing when your whole body convulses because you fell on your bed. I take a look at my phone, and it's something like 3:30. I debate with myself on whether I should go get a glass of water and go to the bathroom or go back to bed. Anon! Anon! Grandmother is screaming her lungs out, and I nearly shit myself. I jump off my bed and run to the master bedroom at the end of the hallway. The door is open. Grandmother is sitting on the bed crying. What happened? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. He wanted me to get my coat. He said it's cold outside. I'm about to ask who. When I finally put two and two together, I start to walk to her to give her a hug when I stumble on something. I look down to see grandmother's favorite knit coat in the middle of the room. Not much by any means, but I still get chills thinking about it.
In the woods camping with friends, I'm the only one in his own one-man tent because we're an uneven number and I'm a fat sack of shit. Half asleep. Hear a voice whispering. A teenage guy. Think it's one of my friends playing a prank on me. The voice says something along the lines of, "You gotta find me by the creek, near 3 big rocks and a tree trunk. Please, help." Say, "in the morning," out loud. Dead silent. Spooked out my ass. Eventually fall asleep, really tired despite the spooks. Tell my friends. They're like, "Oh shit, let's go then." We go to the nearby creek and look for the 3 rocks and the tree trunk. We actually find it. It's right under a really high ledge. Everyone's like, "Oh shit." We find actual human bones. Shivers down my spine. Report it to the police. We decide not to continue our camping trip and head home. I mean, it was spooky at first, but I ended up feeling really sad. The kid turned out to be a 15-year-old that had been missing for a couple months and fell off a cliff while camping with his friends, just like we were doing.
Me again, no one helped me out last night, so I'm going to ask for help again. /x/what the fuck happened Saturday night anyway. Driving home at 3 a.m., ride, Sydney, Australia. Saturday night was the designated driver for the night, had no pills, no alcohol, just water. Finally dropped my last mate home. He lives like a mile and a bit, 2 kilometers from my house, a 2-minute drive, and I went the same way from his house as I did to his house. And on my route, there was a roundabout. On the way there was nothing on it. As I'm approaching the roundabout on my way home, I see something on it. When I get close, I see 2 garden gnomes standing back to back in the center. One painted so perfectly it looked lifelike, the other completely white, unpainted. They instantly sent shivers down my spine. I can't explain it. /x/ there was something not normal about these fucking gnomes. I'm not a superstitious guy, but I knew there was something weird. So I'm turning right around the roundabout and the colored one is looking straight ahead like a gnome would, smiling, happy. And as I go around, the white one is the same. And I pull away quick and I'm thinking, fuck that, just go. The road I turned into was straight and I could see to the end of the road where I would be turning. An empty, clear 3 a.m. quiet street in a quiet Sydney suburb. So I take the opportunity to look in my rear view at these creepy arse appearing out of nowhere gnomes. Look ahead of me, nothing. Look down on my lap, do the sign of the cross, look up and I am in fog. The heaviest fog I have ever been in, out of nowhere, so thick and so imposing. I smelt a heavy burning like sour incense, and after 3 seconds or so it was gone. Legged it home, woke my dad up getting into the house, was so shaken and weak I was nearly gonna break down in tears. Even Dad was a bit freaked. Context about religiousness. Family is Catholic, I've never practiced. Family are super devout. But something was so weird about last night, I just felt like I needed to do it. So my super duper religious mom also took it upon herself to bless my car when I bought it, with incense and holy water, which is why it was freaky smelling the sour incense. So /x/, can anyone tell me what in the world happened Saturday night?
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel, as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.